little bit about understanding. To understand something is to perceive the meaning of that something. It's to really grasp onto the idea of that something. It's really to comprehend, to be thoroughly familiar with it. Its nature, its subtleties, and its depth of meaning, not just what's on the top. To understand is to grasp the significance and all the implications, all of the importance of that particular thing. So understanding the principles is getting a feeling of God, to grasp the idea of God, to be thoroughly familiar with God, to get the nature and the subtleties of God, to communicate with God, to understand the principles. A principle is first or the highest in rank of importance or value. That is definitely God. A principle is the one cause from which springs all of the manifestations. The principle of mathematics, the principle of music, the principles of medicine. From that principle springs the healing, springs the music, springs the writing of the music. Principle is supreme good. It's absolute substance. It's the mind of the matter. It's the life of the matter. It's the love of the matter. It's the intelligence of the matter. Principle and truth are one. Now, knowing that, I must know that I am responsible for my life. And I must understand that life, not the world, owes me everything, because God is the principle, God is life. So what I should expect from God. The world doesn't owe me anything. In the world, I have to pay in some way for the use of my life. I will always get in my outer world, what I have in my inner mind. The reason being that things happen in the mind before they can happen in the world without you. And you know this to be true. When you want something, you think about it first. And the more you think about it, the more you plan to make it a reality. Is that not true? Life does what it does best. And this is all that life does. It goes on. You see, and as it goes on, it presents us with opportunities. Life is God's gift to us. The outer life is but the overflowing of the inner life. And this inner life is fed by the God which we refer to as the Christ inside of us. God gives his life freely to all who are able to receive it. Satisfaction comes to us when we live according to principle. Whether it's God principle, integrity as a principle, truth as a principle, understanding as a principle. We get our satisfaction when we live according to principle. Life as it's God's gift to us, we don't owe anything for it. And it does not owe us anything but our use of it. The world, on the other hand, hates us according to Jesus Christ. And he left us a warning about how the world looks at us if we are following him. This is Jesus talking in John, the 15th chapter, the 18th and the 19th verse. If the world hates you, know that it hated me before it hated you. Because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hates you. So by the words of our wayshower, I cannot expect anything but hate from the world. Hello? Is this mic on? Huh? I'm going to say it again because you're not properly impressed. Knowing what Jesus has left for me, I cannot expect anything but hate from the world. Knowing this cuts away the surprise of the things that happen in the world that attempt to bind me. That's the way the world is. That's how the world reacts. Michael gave us everything he had. His spirit, his music, his everything, he gave it to us. And I'm looking at the television, and all they can talk about is he took some kind of pill sometime or another. Huh? I don't know anybody who hasn't done something they didn't have any business doing. Me first. You see, what that has to do with his talent is, it doesn't matter at all. But that's the way the world is. How dare he be so talented? How dare he be so wonderful? How dare he sing so good and dance so good? How dare he get so rich? How dare he have so much money he wanted to give some to everybody? How dare he? See, and we don't understand how they could think that way, because we are in this world, but we are not of this world. And living by the principles, we could never do what they're doing to Mike. It's so wonderful they can never hurt him again. Ever hurt him again, you see. But we don't understand how anybody else could do such things. Well, stop pondering over it. If you understand your principles, you know that it doesn't matter. This is the nature of the world. This is John 15, the 16th verse. You have not chosen me, Jesus talking, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask the Father in my name, he shall give it to you. So the hate of the world is powerless against me. It was powerless against Michael. Everything they tried to put on him, he did something else. They put something over here, he stepped over here, because he was living by the principles of God. It's ridiculous to try to do something to me. I'm the Son of God in whom he's well pleased. It's like asking for trouble. You see, and if you're living by the word, by the principle, the same thing is true with you. So you don't have to wonder why, because the world hates you. You see, because you are so magnificent. How dare you be this wonderful? How dare you understand how to live? How dare you be this close to God? Who do you think you are?